Oh boy. Here we go. Episode 147. You gotta be kidding me. Tonight's gonna be nuts. What up? Come on in, folks. That's how that works. What's up? My God, this beer. Look, I poured it. It's now getting drinkable. Good Lord. All right. Let's get back to the live cam. What's up? My name's Cardone. Let me know if you can hear me. This is Evening Hour Live, episode 147. Tonight's going to be nuts. And I really mean it. Nuts. Maybe the craziest episode we've had. I wish I had more time to promote it, but I didn't. I'm drinking Guinness no alcohol beer tonight. Cheers, everybody. My yawn drink. We have a good group in here already. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to turn the tunes down already. I'm talking too loud. Let me know if you can hear me. I think we're good. Tony, Camillo. My mama's in the house. What up, mama? Fallon. Hey. Who else? Melissa. There's. If you're new, please say hi. Tell me how I know you. If I don't know you, you can say, I don't know you. I like meeting people. We have a really good group. This is a live chat. Please go in the chat and say hi. The more you chat, you get points. Now, Jason, where are you? Jason, I saw that you won a prize. Jason redeemed his points. I missed it somehow. So Jason, there's a poster coming to you. Yeah. I know, one of our regular viewers. What up? Nobody fresh. See, I don't know who that is. Amanda, what's up? I've got a really full show. This one might be a little long. It's highly educational. Tonight, live on the show, I'm going to teach you how to roll fatty Bo Baddies. I don't really talk about this kind of stuff on the show. I get asked all the time. I thought, it's time. I'll do it. I'm going to show you how to roll joints that are giant, smoke perfect, and are consistent. Before we get that, you're drinking. Excellent. Steepleface. Before we get to the Fatty Bo Baddies, and, I gotta say, it's not a kid show tonight, okay? Yo, Dan, come on in. Come on in. Do you have a drink? I have weed and fake beer. I'm not gonna smoke this one, though, because I'm gonna show people how to make them tonight. But, yeah, it's not a kid show. If you got kids that watch this with your family, I mean, as long as you're cool with this, I don't care. It's up to you. Let's see. Wow, that beer has a... Finally, it's calmed down. Excellent Dark Alchemy. You're going to have a blast tonight, because... Well, before we get to the meat and gritty of the show, I turned 50 a few weeks ago. Yes, I'm now a 50-year-old man. I crossed the old man line. It feels good. I had an amazing party. My family and friends, and I didn't invite a lot of people, so if you weren't invited, don't have your heart broken. I had to keep it to a certain size because my house ain't that big. And we had a nice group of friends and family. I wanted to show you something I haven't been able to show anybody, really. I wanted to show it tonight. I got a present from a dear friend who I interviewed on this show. I interviewed my friend David Throdini, if you're watching. And Throdini has the world's largest serial killer collection and a collection of all sorts of nefarious human objects and things. And Craft Hour with Cardone. And Throdini bestowed upon me a gift of no... Like, I can't believe I have this. I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to focus this. But it's a framed... That's a Pee Wee Herman collectible card. That's his mugshot. And underneath is a key. A real key. It's actually a jail cell key. It's actually the key to his jail cell. And it's real. It's got, like, the actual certification so that people collect these things, pass them around. I am honored to own this item. I will take care of it for the rest of my life. I'll never sell it. And he knows my tastes, so thank you, Throdini. My kid, I forgot to move it. My kids got me a limited edition Gamera collectible, which I love. So at any rate, I turned 50, and it was fun, and whatever. The other thing, I've been very busy. I haven't done many of these shows. I have been in a writing hole. I realized that one of my goals for this year that I had set was I wanted to finish my book and have a rough draft done. I wrote it down in the beginning of the new year. In the summer, I started losing focus, and I kind of realized it wasn't going to happen. But then about a month or so ago, I decided to print out what I had written. And it was so much that I thought, damn it, I'm going to finish it. I think I can. I'm not that far off. I'm in the home stretch. It's awesome. I'm getting there. For those of you, I've never really discussed it in detail. I'm writing a book on how the hows and whys and the nuts and bolts to the art of throwing a curse. And it's going to be the first of its kind. It's a book I looked for when I was a kid and couldn't find. So, yeah, there you go. Someone turned 50 and had a mosh pit. Exactly. So I'm writing a book on how to curse people. I think for certain people, they're going to really like the book a lot. And for others, they won't like it at all. As a matter of fact, they'll probably despise it, which is fine. It's not for everybody. And I say that right away in the book. Like, this is definitely not for everybody. It has a lot in it. So, I've been working on it for 10 years. In the last 2 years, 3 years, I've really crunched down on it and started really putting it together. The problem isn't, what do I mean by curse exactly? Well, I guess you're going to have to buy the book. Because that's what the book is about. My definition. I define it in the book. So, in the book, part of the process of writing it is I'm not just trying to write an informative book or just a book that's poetic in nature. I'm trying to do both together in a total package of sorts. So, it's not easy. Thank you. Someone's got my opulence. You like that. I'm glad you like that. I really was proud at some of the songwriting. I love Judas and Thomas from that record. Yes, I think a lot of people are going to enjoy my curse book. So, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a rough draft done by the end of the year. And then next year, I will focus on the edit and getting it published. So, for anybody that's been cheering me on and reading my essays, every now and then I'll shoot a few out for people to look at. Thank you very much. Curse like Sailor or curse like Marie Laveau? Good question. How about both? Combined, all in one ball. Yeah. Yes and yes. I think you're going to have fun. I mean, for some people it's going to be fun, and for some it's going to not be fun. And I'm taking it very seriously. It's not a joke. It's real. Yeah. Thank you for listening, and you're helping me expand my knowledge. So that's why I do these. Thank you very much, Camille. Um, okay, well, you'll see. You're gonna like this book. I have a lot to say about the art of cursing. So that's what I've been doing, and I've also been reading like a freak. Still, I am getting close to finishing Birth of The Birth of Tragedy. It's my new favorite book. If you're into Greek anything, this is unbelievable. I don't recommend this if you're new to Nietzsche. Not at all. This is for after you've known him a while. It's his first book. It's flawed. It's fine. But it's got some neat stuff. Have you essays where... I believe there is a book coming out by... I can't remember anything anymore. Oh my God. He comes in the show. I'm terrible. It'll come into my head. Anywho, I think he just published a book of essays and I'm in it. My brain is... When I see a lot of names, I start to jumble them. He might come in here live. When he does, I will... I remember sending one of my essays off to somebody. I also wrote something for... Magister Bob Johnson's Warlock stuff. He published one of my essays. So, anywho, I gotta keep moving. Wait. The magic guy, you mentioned it last time. Oh! Okay, so that book is a book about a magician. That is in the Jeff Sheridan book. I do have an essay in that book. But not the cursing stuff, there's not much published. Maybe this new book coming out. I can't remember his name. He comes in here. His book yes. I'm starting to lose track of things I've published. I just dungeon mastered my 100th, 101, and 102 game of my Dungeons & Dragons. I don't play Dungeons & Dragons. I play DCC. But in my role-playing game campaign. And I am going to do Boardgasm episodes. They're going to be live. There are... it's going to be live gaming. And it's going to be Dungeon Degenerates. So pay attention to that. Anywho, what's the anywho? I'm looking to find where I can read your work. Right now, I'll by the end of the episode, I'll remember where something recently just got published on the end of cursing. My other writing, believe it or not, I'm very new to the writing game. If you watch my old episodes, you'll listen to my discovery of me writing. It's kind of weird. I used to hate writing, and one day I realized what I was doing wrong my whole life, and it made my writing come out really easy. And I figured out that if I apply the same techniques I do to how I create an act for a nightclub or a magic show or whatever, my writings are very clear and concise and straight to what I'm actually trying to get at. So, thank you to anybody that reads my stuff. I do publish. Anybody watching this show, if you read my Instagram, I do publish my essays. Not the curse stuff all the time, but... there you go. Excellent. Okay. What else? Before we get into the nitty gritty, because we're getting close. I wanted to, I had two gripes. As you know, I don't get into politics in this show, other than I will talk about free speech. I am a free speech advocate. All speech, bad speech, good speech, fake speech. I like misinformation and disinformation. I like all information, good and bad. I will talk about free speech issues. Occasionally, I'll talk about body autonomy issues. Mostly about self-preservation techniques, aka self-protection, also known as weapons and guns. I will talk about that occasionally. But that's about it. I don't get into anything else. I like talking about free speech because I use speech to make a living. I use art to make a living. I use magic shows and nightclubs, and we live in a world where you need permits and licenses to perform, like China. You need a license. Yeah, you have to submit things now, okay? Well, they're doing it in Canada. Get ready. Everybody thinks that the world has free speech all over the place. They don't. I think we're the only country that has it literally written out. It basically says, except for a direct threat, everything goes. All of it. Basically, right? So, here we go. Here we go, Charlemagne, asking the hard questions. I have answers for these, but I don't know if I'm going to have time for this. Let's try. I love it. You asked me the best questions. These are your questions, Charlemagne, are 10-hour answers, which is why they're awesome. Well, when I mean free speech, I mean that if you want to get down to the nitty-gritty, yes, I don't believe in anything's free. Because what does free mean? Free to me means own causality. That's how I define free. If something's its own causality, it is free. And I don't believe we are our own causality anymore. I don't buy into that. There's too many things involved every time I make a choice. But I know that whatever the causalities are in me, I feel like I'm going to jump off of a building if there's a restriction placed on my self-expression through art. And so that's how I would say, that's what I'm actually referring to. I don't like that there is a law of a body above mine own telling me what is good art and what is bad art, ultimately. And so, if something's being used in a loving context or a hateful context, I want my interpretation to be the one that I can put out there without somebody else going, that's not correct. Because it's pure interpretive. So that's what I mean. That's because of the jocks. Well, in Canada, they made it where if you make a certain amount of money online, you have to get a license, a government license, which means YouTube, which is what you're watching me on now, in Canada, is screwed. Right? Well, football's not art because it's a game. It's a winner-loser. It's A-B. There's no gray. There's no interpretation. That's, to me, the difference. Yeah, well, so that's the thing. The canceling, how people just cancel you. Now people are self-censoring. Yeah, you're right. It's weird. But the big one is, if you make too much money, it means you need a free speech license. That's all that means. That's what it is. I used to joke, yes, because why should we prefer one causality over the other? Well, there isn't a reason. I like this question because I prefer, you're right, there is no, well, okay, these questions are great. Why should we prefer one causality over the other? Meaning, my own causality or something else being a causality. Well, they do have different implications. This is why, if you read a book on free will, this is what at least this is what I found. When I read the books on free will, that's what I'm reading about, is what you're saying right there. What are the actual differences between each implication? Yeah, I could do an entire episode. I could do 10 entire episodes on these questions, Charlemagne. They're wonderful. Everybody needs to read these questions. Look in the chat. This man, whoever it is a philosopher thinker. This is why when I meet somebody like Charlemagne, you can sit on a beach with a fake beer and a joint and talk for 10 hours. Rick Sherman, who just popped in, also is good at this. Discrimination of causalities. I like it. Charlemagne, where are you? Are you in the U.S.? I think you are. I asked you this already. You have a great name that's easy to remember. Anywho, I gotta keep moving, because that question will bring me into a hole that we can't leave. Maybe after we get to this giant Bo Baddie, you ask the same question and see what answer you get. An avid fighter against the satanic panic. It's funny. Yeah. I mean, I have thoughts on that. That's another episode. I've never done an episode on my thoughts on the satanic panic. But, you're from Portugal. I've been there. I've performed there. There's a video online called Toilet Boys versus the Cops, and that is my band in Portugal and the noise police shutting the show down. You actually see the cops come on stage. It's pretty cool. I like Portugal. Portugal's great. Cheers. Cheers from New York to Portugal. Are you in Lisbon? What city? I've only been to Lisbon. Okay. So here's tonight's episode. Here we go. We got a good group in here. If you're new, say hi. I'm going to teach, well, there's two parts tonight. One is I'm going to teach you how to roll these massive smoking things. And then we're going to talk about some films. One you've never heard of. It's going to be your favorite movie. I swear to God. I'm going to tell you about a movie, and Rick Sherman, who's in here, has been hearing me foam at the mouth over one movie. I don't want to say what it is yet. You've never seen it. I know you haven't. If you have, I'm going to be quite shocked. It's a major motion picture with some heavy hitters that you've never heard of. I know you haven't. There's some very cool people that I showed this movie to that were like, I've never heard of this. I'm going to show you the trailer and give you my review. It's getting hard to find on Blu-ray, but it is online. It's going to blow your mind. I've seen it twice in a week and a half. But I was deciding, should I do the movie reviews or should I show you, call the people watching, how to make a joint? Literally a magic wand. I'm not going to tell you. No, I can't say the movie yet. You like... there you go. Okay, so. Here we go. I decided I'm going to start with the joint rolling first because it'll make part 2 better. So here's what we're going to do. Tonight, I'm going to show you... I need my glasses. I don't need that many supplies. If anybody out there are master joint rollers, great. You might have some advice to throw in the bottom. Please do. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. If you have any real questions, send me a message on Instagram. Cardone Magic is my handle. I'm going to be switching back and forth to a hand cam. I've set up my hand cam so you can get a front view and a back view of what I'm doing. I might be moving some things around. Let me move this here. Let me pour the rest of my fake beer into my glass. Okay. And now, let me tell you what you're going to need to make, and I'm going to switch to the hand cam right now, to make one of my famous doobies. Oh, before we get to these, let me explain something. I'm a nerd, okay? I have a lot of things, and people are like, how do you have all these miniatures painted and stuff? I'm probably OCD of some sort. I like to focus on things and go really hard into them and study them in a lot of detail. And I realized that I couldn't roll really nice doobies. Even when I was younger, I was okay. I also realized I didn't like smoking small ones because they don't taste good. This is what people don't understand. This is what the young people don't get. When you smoke a little tiny doobie woobie, a pinner as they were called in the 80s, you're smoking paper. And there's not much of the good stuff in the middle, so it burns bad. It doesn't taste good. When you roll them like this, they're so large that by the time it gets to about the middle, it changes flavor like a cigar. They also burn really evenly if you pack them correctly. So, this is what I'm doing. I'm showing you how a magician's brain would make a doobie. A good one. Like a consistent one that I can roll pretty much all the time. And I have a way to make them really little, and I have a way to make them a little extra bigger once in a while. It's a little harder to do. So, any questions, please ask. I'm running this alone. Golf Wang, my producer, is here tonight. But he's not here right now. And here's what you need. Well, first of all, you need rolling papers. And I use mostly raw. I don't like the super thin ones. Occasionally I will use them. These are the you know, the classic raw, the big size. The fancy ones are thinner, and occasionally I will use them. But these are fine. And I'm going to show you also how to make the filter so you can smoke it all the way down to the end and not waste one bit. Because you're going to be using a lot of the good stuff. Ooh-hee. So I smoked cigars and pipes my whole life. Eventually they started to, I was such a nicotine addict. I haven't had nicotine in years now. I pulled it out. And I decided that I started using the green stuff to help my arthritis. I have terrible arthritis. The drug companies put me on a drug that made me feel terrible and was recalled. It was an arthritis drug. It's poison. I don't need their poison. You go natural. The side effects when I use the good stuff are hungry and sleep well. So that's what happened. Well, you're gonna, whoever, even if you don't smoke, you're gonna be able to sit down and show somebody this. So I use these, and I'm gonna take one and put it down here. Now, as for the filter, yes, you can use a glass filter, a metal filter. They make all these fancy ones. I actually like paper filters the best. They're light. The joint won't break. If it's a metal one with the paper, they break. So here's what I'm going to go. Thank you very much, Cassandra. I love you too. I use playing cards. Now, yes, I do magic shows. Yes, I practice sleight of hand magic. Where are we here? And I use, a lot of the times, B-back cards. Come on, focus. Right? I use these B cards for, what do you call it? Sleight of hand magic. These are the standard brand that I have been using for, oh, Jesus. Whoop, there we go. I've been using these cards now for, 20 years. And these aren't the cards that I use for rolling doobies. I use tally-hos. The reason? The back enables me to fold it like this. Watch. I take it and I fold it so that the little nubbity is like that. See that? So the first thing you do is you need a filter. I use playing cards. I take it and I fold it over and over until, and I crease it until it is eventually tearable. Not terrible, tearable. Let me get this. And if it's in the winter, this is better. They're crispier. In the summer, playing cards aren't as crispy. All right, so now I'm going to tear it. Looks like I'm getting ready to do a magic trick. And now you have two. You can save this, the bigger side, and use it later. Now, you're wondering what cards to use. Well, I won't tell you which ones I use. I have a reason for not telling. But you can use any card. And the next thing you're going to need the paper. You're going to need a playing card. Oh, thank you very much, Benjamin. I don't know. That's about an inch. It's about an inch. You can go smaller. You can go bigger. If you're a cheapskate on the weed, go bigger. If you don't want to, you can go a little bigger. You don't want to go too big. Now, the next thing you got to do. Oh, let me see. What else do we need? Oh, and then you're going to need good old grashish, aka weed. I'm going to put that right there. We'll get to that. And then you're going to need a piece of paper. I like this better than a rolling tray, which I'll put it out here and show you how I do it. The other thing you're going to need is to turn the record over. You got to do that. Because rolling to silence isn't very fun. Okay. The record is ready. All right, so here we go. Hi, people. I hope you're having fun. You're going to love this. All right, so the first thing you got to do before you do this is make one of these. Yes, I pre-roll them like this. That's the first thing I do. I make these. It's just paper with the filter. Now to get this, like this, let me show you how it's done. I'm going to now prepare the filter. This is one of the more important steps. Basically, I'm going to roll this up gently. I don't want to... Playing cards crack. They have a little bit of a finish on them. And if you fold it, it gets... Instead of it being a round circle, it'll look like a bumpy octagon. So one thing you can do is take the Sharpie, because you do need a Sharpie with my method. And you can take it and run it through it on both ways to get it so it's curvy. See how it's curved now? And then, two things happen. See how there's the number, the pip? In this case, it's the Jack of Diamonds. The first thing I do is I roll the non-Jack of Diamonds part in, and I roll it so it's big and open, and I slowly roll it and tighten it. And basically, I'm making the filter right now. Now, you don't want it to have this big open center because the good stuff will fall through. So you want it to be a tight in the middle roll. Now, I'm actually going to flip it and do it the other way in a second. I'm just getting this side good. Now, after that's kind of nice and really broken in, now I take the Jack end and I go in like this. Nice and tight. And I roll, all the way to the end. And if it's not really good in the middle, you can just kind of roll it like that. And if you look, see, it's starting to get better. Oh, that's still not so good. Hold on. There we go. Now we're getting there. And it's kind of fat. See how fat it is? This thickness is, you need it to be kind of the thickness that you want it to be. So if it keeps staying fat and swelling, one technique I figured out is to, hey, thank you so much for the tip. Grazie, grazie, mucho gracias. I always mention, but I don't need to mention because people do it anyways. Thank you very much. I do take tips. They're in the bot. The link is in the bottom. You rule. So one of the ways is once you get it to where you kind of want this filter, I put it up to my mouth and I breathe hot air into it. I do this with playing cards to break them in sometimes. Warm air makes the cards, it takes the humidity. Okay. Now, this filter is ready to roll. No pun intended. Here we go. Now, this is the tricky part. I hope I don't blow this live on the camera. I might. Sometimes I do. If I'm in a rush, I'll blow it. So, I'm going to now switch to the hand cam. And you're going to need... I don't need this. You're going to need a Sharpie, a rolling paper, and here we go. Okay. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to move my hands here, like this. Okay, so there's Mr. Filter. Here's Mr. Sharpie. Here's the paper. And here is the rolling paper. The glue is going to be at the top. That's the glue. That's the not glue. And the filter, notice there's nothing there. This is because, yeah, I can't tell you why. There's a secret. But this is how I do it. I put it so the white is at the bottom. Okay? See that? This white is going to line up with the bottom of the rolling paper. And the top is where the glue is that you are going to lick in a second. But before you do that, this is the hand position. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to make sure that this edge right there is catching on the inside. It has to catch right there, meaning go under. And then I'm going to lick all the way down. I'm going to roll this here and stick it. And then I'm going to take this marker and go in here. Using my thumb, grab the corner, and then with my finger lay down that corner. Oop. And then sometimes I have to put my face up and use my mouth to do this, which I'll do in a second, okay? So here we go. I'm going to actually do it. So first, I'm going to put the paper. Aw, Fallon. Grazie, grazie, grazie. It really does mean a lot. Thank you so much, everybody. Okay, here we go. All right, that feels... Ooh, you know what I'm not doing? Big no-no. Big no-no. Where are my glasses? Here we go. Doing this without glasses is kind of hard. Okay, here we go. So the edge is caught. Right there, that little edge is caught under the paper. So first thing I'm going to do is lick it. Okay, you didn't see, but I licked that whole edge. Nice and easy, light. And now I'm going to slowly roll just there. I'm going to put this in. And if you slide that in, if you look, it lines up. Now I'm going to use my mouth. And now I'm going to let go. Hold on. Oh. There we go. Right there. Make sure it stays to dry. That is perfect, folks. I'm going to show you something. Look. Now, you got to make sure that right at the seam there is wet. So now, watch. I'm going to move this to here. Okay, watch. Right here, watch. So now, you can, while it's in here, lick that little edge, and then slide this beast out. And by God, that's beyond perfect. It's like so perfect, it's better than the store. Okay? Thank you very much. Bruja. Grazie, grazie. Grazie. Thank you very much. When we get donations, it tickles me. Thank you. So wait till you see this now. Okay, so this is I made other ones in case these few first ones came out a little wobbly. It's perfect. If I want them a little bigger, you have to make it so the paper lays right at the edge. It's a little harder to do. Because the marker, you can make them a little bigger than the actual marker. It takes a little more finessing. But my God, you make 5 of these and you are ready for some serious business. So, on that note, time to fill it. Now, you're wondering, I've seen people do it with a funnel, where they make a funnel, and you don't need any of that. I found a really quick way to do it. You don't need a funnel. You do need a grinder, a good one, a really good one. And if you have a good one, the top will grind it so that it's, in good condition. But the bottom screen, if you have a good one, it'll catch the keef. The keef is what you can use. I don't know if you guys know what to do with keef. If you don't, maybe one day I'll make a video. You can use it for all sorts of stuff. So we don't need that. I'm going to take this. We're going to move down to the hand cam. And I'm going to show you how I do the filling. There's a lot in here. Okay. So here we go. I grind it pretty tight. Here we go. Ah, Greg. Which Greg? Do I know this Greg? I know lots of different people, but I don't know which Greg it is. Okay, here we go. So here's my technique. I use this, and I will be using this marker, okay? And basically, the technique is this. You want the top to be open. Now, because these are so large, you sometimes have to squeeze it like this. And the reason why I'm holding it like in this position is you'll see I'm going to take a large clump of this and just feed it in right in like that. Okay? I'm just stuffing it in, but I'm squeezing it together. I'm making it into a little bit of a ball. That's to get it to stop at the bottom. You don't want it to go through the filter. So now I tap. And I use this to do it. And after you get a little bit in there, you need the base of these to be kind of strong so that it doesn't bend. And I'll show you. So there, tap, tap, tap. And you're packing it in there. Now watch this. Then you can use the Sharpie and make it nice and even Steven. Okay? Now watch how fast this goes. I can actually do this really quick. And the reason for the paper is because it enables me to spill it and then just dump it in. I hope you can see this. It's kind of hard to film. I'm blind as a bat, so I'm looking at the monitor with one eye, not with glasses. Okay. And if you look, I'm halfway done. Now, the secret to a nice one is the burn. And it will only burn right if it's packed not too tight and not too loose. It's got to be breathable, and it's got to be so that the air can move through it. If they can't move through, it starts to get really dense and clogged, and you won't be able to even draw. If there's stems, they will punch holes in these. If there's a hole punched, you can fix it with another piece of paper, or just put your finger on it like a carb. See? See all this down here? It's easy to clean. I'm almost done. And then, after we're done, I have something to say about some movies. And I told you, I'm going to tell you about a movie you've never heard of. I got its trailer ready to go. The trailer does not do it justice. Nothing does the movie justice. But it's a brilliant work of art. We'll get to it in a second. Almost done. And yes. Now, what's the deal with the tip? What I'll do with the tip, you twist them when you're done, right? I'm getting down here to the wire. Now I'm gonna tap it. Now, one thing you can do if you're done is fill it almost to the tip, twist it off so that it's twisted like that, and then really tap it and pack it. Not too much. You don't want it crazy tight. If you do this, look, there's already about an inch worth of room to put more. And you don't have to go all the way. And I'm kind of ready to light this beast. Okay, what's this notification? Oh, smoking not my thing. I love it, Ruth. That's okay. Well, Ruth, you're in perfect time because I'm not going to smoke. I mean, I'm going to smoke, but I'm actually going to do a movie review. You got no notification. Yeah, they suck. Tobacco? None. Zero. And there you go. I could have made it a little bigger. I'm being lazy because I want to get to the review. Seriously. Is this one bigger? I made one earlier today that I think's twice as big. Yeah. Yeah, look at the difference. I'm going to put these on the table so you can get a good look. Hand cam. First of all, the cleanup is... You know what I'm saying? That's why I dig paper. It's easier. The tray bit I don't like. Look at the size difference. Here is the one I just made, and here's the one I made earlier today. It's hard to tell, but it's actually way bigger. Yeah. Oh, you're going to love about the movie thing. So, what's this say? That's overly Upside down pineapple cake. I don't know what that means. I'm kind of bad sometimes with. All right, here we go. Here's the part of the night I've been waiting for. Yeah, I don't normally smoke live on these shows. I don't think I ever have, ever. In 147 episodes, I have never lit a fatty bobatty, as I call them, live on the tubes of you. So I'm going to do that. I need an ashtray. And I am now going to give you some thoughts about a few movies that I've seen recently. And I hope you enjoyed watching me and my technique of this. Eventually, one day, I'll make a really, filmed nice one, but... oh! Who's got a lighter? Let's see. So this is the one I just made. If I get too baked, I might have to get out of here, okay? We'll see. Oh, Jesus. Okay. And the agenda... First, I want to talk about the new Exorcist movie. I haven't seen it, but I want to talk about it. And then I have two movies that I need to mention. Two. One of which I'm going to show a trailer. And Ruth, you got to hear this. You're going to love it. I'm curious if you know anything about this. This segment brought to you by the letters free and speech. I love it. Okay. Just lighten the tip off. Here we go. Tasty. Tasty. Okay. Let's have some reviews. Tastes good. So, who saw the new Exorcist movie? Has anybody? I saw The Pope's Exorcist recently and thought it was so bad that it was part comedy. Russell Crowe, pretty cool. I like him. The movie was terrible. The new Exorcist, I predicted it was going to suck. Well, the first Exorcist as a child, it did scare me. I was told it was real. But the new one, Exorcist 3 is one of my favorite movies. But the new one, I predicted its failure for two things. And if you ask my friends, I really did. I was like, it's definitely going to suck. Here's why. They spent $400 million on the franchise. What? They also said... Oh, I forgot to show you something about the playing card. This is very important. Very important. Somebody asked if it has chemicals in it. Probably. But so does the paper. Who knows? The reason why this is amazing, and you can smoke it all the way to the end, is when you get to about where it's starting to turn into a roach, you can slide the filter a little bit out. I'll show you when I get to the end. You can slide it, look there, so that there's an air pocket right in between, so you can smoke it all the way. Yeah, it's kind of cool. You can't do that with regular filters usually. It's because it's smooth. It slides out. Anywho, so, The Exorcist cost $400 million for the franchise, not just filming it. The new one, the crappy one. The one that has, the worst reviews you've ever seen. The other thing is, it was a 3-picture deal. So they were thinking quantity, not quality, and they spent so much money that they would have to recoup it. The problem when you spend that much money and that you have to recoup it is you have to use formulas to recoup your money, or else they won't let you do the thing. This is why expensive things usually suck, because they have to use formulas to sell it. This is why pop music does well. Anybody that doesn't like AI ruining the world probably already listens to AI-generated music. You know? So, at any rate, I predicted its failure from the beginning because they weren't trying to make a good movie to scare you like Damien Leone did, the Terrifier guy. No, they wanted to make their money back and get rich. And so, bad idea. I don't know if you know this, but the lady, Ellen Bernstein, I think is her name, They've been asking her to do this for years, and she said no, no, no. Finally, they doubled their offer, and not only did she say yes, but she basically went, you know, I'm only doing this so I can give it to this charity group. Like, she made it kind of clear, because I think she knew it sucked. I saw a couple scenes from the new one. It's laughable garbage. And I wish I could just ruin the end for you. It has the laughable ending. I mean, really. When I saw how it ended, all I had to do is read the description. I was like, oh my. Oh. So, anyway, it sucked. And you don't need to see it. Watch the original, watch part 3, and call it a day. Part 3 is a work of art. Now, this brings us to movies, one of which you know of, and one of which I guarantee you can never be too bait. Hold on. So, how many of you have seen Nightbreed? Right? Nightbreed. Clive Barker. He directed it and wrote it. Well, I saw it as a kid in the movies, and I hated it. I was kind of mad. I was like, what did we just watch? Well, about a year ago, I saw the director's cut finally, and I loved it a lot. And then recently, I watched it twice. That's how much I like it now, even more. I don't know what to say. Whose book? Who's her? Whose book is interesting? Yes, I'm smoking. Tony watched Nightbreed director's cut today. Holy crap. Listen, it is really cool. It's 40 minutes of new footage. I've never seen the Cabal cut, which is an hour longer of new footage. I've never seen it, but I have seen the director's cut. It is really, I mean, it is a dumb movie, Melissa. It really is. It's like they just put everything in there. I felt bad for Russell Crowe. He was good. Ellen Burstyn. Oh, yeah. She is cool. I mean, she's a great actress in the first one. Good God. Really steals the show. I mean, just, oh my God, listen to this. Greg wrote a story when he was younger about Anton LaVey and Jesus being Ghostbusters. That's good. Wait till you hear about this movie you've never heard of. So, Nightbreed director's cut, it's a fantasy. From the beginning of the movie to the very end, it's a twisted fantasy. It's got some great stuff in it. It's got Cronenberg playing a bad guy. A lot of people complain. Me and Rick Sherman always discuss. He's not a fan of the lead actor, but I told him watch the whole director's cut because it's very different. It's very different. I'm telling you, I hated the original one. I thought it was dumb. It made no sense, and it was stupid and ugly, and I didn't like it. You see the director's cut, and you really see the difference. 400 million. Yeah. It's too much. 400 million? What dummy thought that franchise was worth that much? I think they're like, ooh, it's the fifth. This is what happens when trust fund kids get art decision positions. They're not very good at the art part. It's bad. It's really bad. You're like, what? 400 million? Even for 3 movies, that's too much. Maybe 10. Terrible. Oh yeah, Sherman. Me and him were talking about, he didn't like the lead actor, but anywho, let's keep moving because we're coming to my favorite new movie or old movie. I'm gonna show you. I don't know if I should show you the trailer, or if I should show you. If I should tell you about it, because the trailer does not do the movie justice. Well, I'll tell you what it is, and then I'll show you the trailer. It was made in 1974, and it was directed and written by William Castle. William Castle, okay, I'll talk about him for in a second because I'm a major fan. And it stars Marcel Marceau. Yeah, you're right, lawyers. And yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. It stars Marcel Marceau playing the role of his life in a horror film. And I couldn't believe how... I read about the movie. Couldn't believe I'd never even heard of it. Because I'm a fan of both of these people. And... oh, I know I have your attention. And so I immediately found the Blu-ray on Amazon and ordered it. And I remember, it says there's only 6 left. There was like 3 left. And I just ordered it. I didn't know nothing about it. It was like $15. I ordered it. I got it, and I sat on it for a month, maybe 2 months. I've had it in my house for a while. I didn't have time. As you know, I don't watch much TV, let alone random nonsense. The other, I don't know, what was it, 2-3 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago. Yep, I agree. So, I finally put the film in. Blu-ray. Immediately, I'm hooked, first of all, by it being a perfect print, like glorious color, the crispiness, the quality, and the colors, and everything. It looks new. It looks like when you see like a Technicolor film from the old days, and it just got a certain color schematic to it that's beautiful. It has that. It also has title cards like a silent movie, and the movie blew my head off. I thought I was going to watch probably 10 minutes and then pause it and go do something else. I watched it right through, and I watched it again last night. I was showing it to my son, who's got good taste in movies. He's 22. He's got a mature horror film taste. I mean, he grew up with them. When the kid was 2, we were watching Chainsaw Massacre. Not kidding. He was raised on monster movies and horror, and I was showing it to him, just like, I think you're gonna like this. Well, we were hooked again. I was like, dude, from the beginning to the end. The movie's called Shanks. This trailer does not do it justice. I'm gonna show it to you now. Please enjoy. Let me know that you can hear this. Here's Shanks. William Castle directed. It's his last film before he died. You've never heard of this. Enjoy. I'm telling you, the movie will blow your head off. And I'm going to have lots of things to say about it in a second. I know why it didn't do well, I think.
Malcolm Shanks hears no evil. He speaks no evil. Because he's too busy making dead people walk. If you're nervous and you feel jumpy, Malcolm will show you how to relax. The great artist Marcel Marceau plays Malcolm Shanks.
Okay. Wow. All right, that's it. That's the only trailer I could ever find. Where do I start? The movie, if you had to say describe it, it's like William Castle meets Samuel Beckett meets the most famous mime Marcel Marceau, even though he's actually in the movie. Like, if you ask me how to describe it, I would be like, even if Marcel Marceau wasn't in the movie, I'd probably use him to describe it. Wait till you hear why I think it failed, and I really thought long and hard about this. So anyway, it's like that. It's a little funny, it's demented, it's twisted, it is a horror film. There's a couple moments in it that are going to creep you out. I wouldn't watch it with little kids. There's a couple moments at the end that you're going to be like, did that just happen? It's got a little bit of Dawn. I think this is where Romero maybe got the idea for Dawn of the Dead. I'm telling you. Now, well, it's not on Blu-ray right now. You can't get it right now. It's sold out. But it is online. I think it's on Amazon Prime, and I think it's on YouTube, but you have to pay for it. Okay? It's a party movie. If you watch this in a group of people, they're going to be on their feet. It has master miming. Not only is Marcel Marceau in the movie miming, it has his friends from France that are also professional mimes playing other parts, and they are fantastic. William Castle makes a little appearance. Now, William Castle was the man behind gimmick 60s horror films like 13 Ghosts, which I have a copy of. I also have an original ghost viewer. It came with, you went and saw the movie, you can make the ghosts appear and disappear with this special gadget. He also produced House on Haunted Hill, which had a gimmick in the movie theater. He produced a lot of these movies. He then produced Rosemary's Baby. He's also in the movie. He has a cameo. I think he's at the phone booth. So William Castle's a kind of a cool guy. He was a little bit of a used car salesman, but he actually had good vision and good directing eyes, as you'll see in this movie. He did The Tingler, the other one, the first LSD trip on film in Hollywood. The Tingler, starring Vincent Price. So, this film is, I think, a master... Now, okay, why did it fail? Why has no one here known about this? Nobody. I don't think one person's heard of this. It has a shitty title, I'll be quite frank. Sorry to put it that way. Shanks, his name's Malcolm Shanks. The movie should be called, and I'm not kidding you, the movie should be called Frankenstein Meets the Puppet Master. And if you took this movie and gave it that title and put one letter F on the front of the castle or on one of the characters' chests, that would be the name. You could get away with it. You could literally make this movie for a 2-second edit into Frankenstein Meets the Puppet Master, because that's what the movie is. Yeah. So, It movies? I don't like the It movies. I hated the remake. They gave away the monster in 2 seconds. Within a minute of seeing the movie, the new It I'm referring to, you see all the teeth. Every time they showed the monster, it was that jumpy. They used the same tricks and edits and visuals that they've been using in all these horror movies for the last 10 years. It's like when you see an Exorcist movie now, there's a spider walk, there's a head spin, there's a vomit. To me, the It movie was using a lot. It wasn't anything new and frightening. Shanks, this movie that I'm talking about, came out in 1974, and you will be more creeped out in this one. It's funny. There's really good pantomime humor choreographed in the show that Marcel Marceau, I think, choreographed. I think he was the choreographer. When he got the script, he was like, my dream role. And he also plays more than one role in the movie. I don't know what to say except it's my new favorite movie. It's fantastic. It's deep. It's meaningful. It's got philosophy in it. It's got humor, horror, and wonder. What else do you need? Well, the trailer is terrible. The colors are bad. You can't see what it doesn't really. I'm telling you. Here's my trailer. What happens when Dr. Frankenstein meets a puppet master? Well, let's find out, because it's pretty twisted. That's what the movie should be. It's fun, it's weird, it's got a couple things in it that are really creepy at the end, towards the end of the movie. Just when you think the movie's nuts and crazy and over the top, it gets even crazier. Have you ever seen the movie The Party by Blake Edwards, starring Peter Sellers? One of my favorite comedies of all time. So, any questions after my rant on Shanks? By the way, if you're jumping in now live, if you rewind this, it's the first time in this 47 episode history Birdie Num Nums. You've seen The Party. It's a really good movie. It's just about an Indian gentleman who accidentally gets invited to a party. It's really good. I think he plays that part with really kind of a really beautiful, sympathetic heart. It's got this really warm, fuzzy feeling. Uh-oh, Ruth, you're bouncing? Ruth, party on. Have a great Halloween week. Yeah. Shanks. Oh, I'll show you the Blu-ray. Where did I put it? Here. Oh, the poster's terrible. You tell me that this isn't terrible. Look at that. What are we even looking at here, folks? It's terrible. That poster does not make anybody want to see it. It doesn't say horror film, even though he's carrying a coffin. Yes, that's Marcel Marceau. And the back, even the back pictures. Dude, they should have a Dr. Frankenstein's castle there. I'm telling you. It's Frankenstein meets the Puppet Master. I went down after my love of this film. Private Parts, Moat Creepy, 70s movie. What is that? Is that a Subway sandwich? Where's there a Subway sandwich? You mean this doobie? Is that what you... Well, I don't know if Xandor, you just got in here, but earlier I gave lessons on how to make. If you're calling this a Subway sandwich, I think it's a great nickname. So anyway, really? I know. No. Shanks has a terrible poster. It has a terrible name. Oh! You mean this? Yes. It looks like it. It's terrible. Oh, I went down a Marcel Marceau hole on YouTube. There's really great footage of him performing. He, people take for granted how good he was. He was really good. He has one of the greatest faces of all time. And when you watch Shanks, he's playing not a mime, but there's some really good acting moments in the movie. There's a moment where he discovers something, and you can, without, the movie assumes the watcher is smart, and it lets you experience things through the eyes of the characters without showing you, which is good art, right? Okay, you asked me a great question, Charlemagne. He asked me what I thought about the Conjuring universe. I have some thoughts. So, and I'm being honest, the guy that's in those Conjuring movies I'm friends with, his name's Patrick Wilson. He's a friend of mine, and I've known him since freshman year college, and I spent a lot of time with him in the classrooms. And even out of school, he's a friend. So at any rate, he's a really good actor. I mean, really good. He can sing, dance, and act. Now, I'm a horror film guy. I've never seen the Conjuring series. I've seen him in other things. He's great in Bone Tomahawk. He's even good in Aquaman. He's a really good actor. Hard Candy, I can keep going. But I haven't seen the Conjuring movies because I have a funny feeling I might not like them. I'm really picky with horror movies. He's made some cool horror movies, but that's not my kind. And I'm not a fan of the Warren family as subject. Because I think they're kind of hucksters, but not very fun. I don't know. So at any rate, that's my thoughts. One day I'll watch them just because I'm curious a little bit. But what do you think? Should I watch them? When I watch him in movies, it's hard. Because I know him so well. I'm like, it's Patrick. It's right. It's in the movie. When you know somebody pretty well, it's weird when you see them in movies. Yeah, I know. They're Hollywood. They're Hollywood movies. Private Parts is listed. Oh, is it? I didn't know that one was. I didn't know. That's funny that it's on there. I mean, it is a free speech movie, right? Kinda. I heard Saw X is pretty good. That's what I heard. At any rate, The best new horror film, I believe, is Terrifier 2 and 1. They're, to me, low-budget masterpieces. My favorite horror movie of all time, I have a few, but this is slowly making it to the list. Another major... Oh, I forgot to say, Shanks is a Paramount picture. Crazy. This one, I think, is also... I forget who produced The Devils, if it was Paramount. It's a major movie that didn't do well because it's too controversial. I plan on watching it this week. It's Oliver Reed, Vanessa Redgraves, directed by Ken Russell, and it's based on a true story. And the book, the Devils of Loudun. It's amazing. If you've never seen The Devils, look for the uncut version. I think there's a print online somewhere. For a minute, looks like Dr. Frankenfurter carrying... Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely Frankenstein. When you see the movie, you're going to be like, it's Frankenstein. They literally could just put the F on a shirt and say... They could put... The movie is unfolding Shanks like a silent movie. It has, like, title cards that pop up. And you could easily put one in. It says, meanwhile, at Castle Frankenstein... And you would have Frankenstein meets the Puppet Master. Because Shanks, Malcolm Shanks, is a puppet master in the movie. Yeah, and I'm telling you, I think Romero must have seen this and got the idea for Dawn of the Dead. I'm not kidding. He had already made Night, saw Shanks, and went, I got to do Dawn of the Dead. I have an idea. That's like when I saw the movie Hausu, the Japanese movie Hausu, which means house. It made me see what movie Sam Raimi was watching that he kind of stole from. And I mean stole complete scenes. This is why I don't like watching a lot of things. It shows you that a lot of stuff is completely lifted. A lot of the Tarantino movies, lifted. Full on. I have seen Eraserhead. I have seen it in a movie theater once. I will say this. Oh, yeah, not the original Conjuring. No, I'm not talking about that. Yeah, the new ones. Eraserhead is transformative. It's transformative art. I don't think it's entertaining. It's not a movie you throw on to have fun and watch. I mean, I saw it in the movies and studied. I mean, I really, was paying attention. And when I left the theater, my vision was altered. I felt altered. I did. And that's hard to do with art. And that, to me, shows you that was a pretty serious, yeah. Anywho. Wow, we had a great show tonight. We have a lot of people in here. Give me some thoughts. I don't know. I've never gotten baked online, let alone showed people how I do this. It's quite fun. I like, I can't smoke and perform. I can't do magic and do the grassery. It doesn't work. My awareness factors. It's impossible. I also don't like to play live music on the Zaza. Again, my awareness, I need to be paying attention to not just the music, but a lot of other things. I do, however, like to Zaza it up when being creative, trying to get through an idea, do housework. Thank you. It's quite easy. I mean, yeah. Me and Sean Pierce should... Oh my God. If me and Sean Pierce did a movie review show, it would be quite good. I should get him. Yeah. Tony, what do you perform? What's your genre? I might know you. I can't really see clearly these names. I see. I'm looking at the screen like 8 feet. Watch these movies. Which ones? Which movies would you like us to watch? I'm good at criticizing crap. You give me a good crappy movie, It's not going to be funny. It's going to be mean-spirited. Oh. Oh, you do rock and roll. Yes. Well, I do too. Cheers. But where's my cheers? Cheers to the rock and roll musicians. Last night, I watched, after Shanks, I watched Decline of Western Civilization 2. I hadn't seen it in a while. It's another masterpiece. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's pretty authentic in the... it's funny, the common theme that I noticed, because I hadn't seen it in a while, is nobody likes to work. Everyone is like, I don't want to work. I don't work. Or I haven't worked. I've never worked a day in my life. I don't even like to think of it that way. And I'm going to end on this note. Somebody once said, do I still send out mystery boxes? Well, I do. You can go redeem it on the store. Yes, I do, Ashworth. Certainly. I'm about to send one to Jason. Where's Jason? I don't see him in here tonight. Yeah. I did I'm choking. I did like the new Hellraiser. I'm picky too, but I did like it. I thought it was creepy. I thought it had more lore about the box than all of the old ones. I do like Out of the Old Ones Part 2 a lot, and 4, 2 and 4. Go figure. But the new one had a lot in it. I could see them making more. I thought the pinheads and the Cenobites were creepy. Exorcist Believer. I don't know if you watched, but I was talking about it earlier. No, I don't think anybody in here saw it, nor should they. I heard nude nuns with big guns. Ooh. That sounds fun. That's right up my alley. I'm looking forward to Terrifier 3. I'm also looking forward to Nosferatu remake. I don't know what that's going to be like, but it's the guy that did The Lighthouse and The Witch. So, they're probably good. And I'm looking forward to Godzilla -1. The new Toho Godzilla movie's got excellent reviews. Top dog reviews. And I'm looking forward to the new Godzilla TV show. And I don't like TV shows, but it's got Kurt Russell. Christopher Lee or Vincent Price? Vincent Price all the way, baby. 100%. He destroys Chris Lee. Now, I like Christopher Lee, but he ain't no Vincent Price. No. Shanks, I'm very curious. If you liked it, please send me a message. I'm telling you, my new favorite movie. Can't believe it's not popular. I really think it's the title. I wish I was rich. I would re-release it with a new title and watch it make a bunch of money. Nefarious. I never even heard of it. I'll look it up. Any movie suggestions, let me know. I'm a horror film freak. I do like fantasy. I really like sword and sorcery fantasy. There's not enough of it. And I can't wait for when Conan the Barbarian is public domain and people can start going nuts with the character. It's very soon, in a year or so. Melissa, thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you. I had a blast. I mean, teaching people how to roll a fatty and talking about the movie Shanks is quite extraordinary. But yeah, hey, listen, if you're new to the show, I'm a little slow tonight. Please, the least you can do is click the like and subscribe. Really, that's it. Just hit the like, hit the subscribe. I don't pander for tips. Tonight we got a lot of tips. It means a lot. Thank you. If you tip, listen, I perform full time, so it all goes to a good cause. If you don't, that's fine. Just tell everybody, hey, check this show out. I haven't been able to do a lot because I'm kind of busy. Next Monday is the day before Halloween. I don't know if I'm going to be working. I'm working the next day, but if I'm not working, I'll probably come online. So I'll do maybe a Halloween episode. Maybe next week I'll open the door a bit to my curse book, which I've been keeping under wraps. I really haven't been talking about it much. I hint at it, and if you know me, you know about it. But other than that, I don't post about it much. If you follow my, thank you very much. If you follow my Instagram, Cardone Magic, I do post my essays, and I have been talking more about the book and all sorts of stuff. It's funny, I don't really get to celebrate Halloween all the time. I don't like Halloween for a couple reasons. Well, I should rephrase that. I like Halloween so much, I just ended up living in Halloween land. The actual holiday on Halloween, I'm usually working, and I don't get to have fun. Last year I did, and this year I'm working, but I still might get to throw a little late night party. Not sure yet. So we'll see. At any rate, next Monday I might jump on here. So we had a great group in here tonight, so thank you very much. Yes, excellent, Tony. Yeah, everybody in here, thank you very much. I have a really great group. Charlemagne, your questions are gold. Yeah, wonderful. Please keep coming. Tell your friends. I do these because I have fun, first and foremost. And two, I learn. I'm learning all sorts of stuff. What's in the mystery box? Good question, brother. You got to look it up. You need a bunch of points, and you can get a free mystery box sent to your house. Somebody I know with their points ordered a poster. So thank you, everybody. Peace out. Send me messages. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you want to see more of. And, yeah, Party on Wayne. What a great, fun episode. I'm out of here. I'm going to take us out with the end credits.